Hello dear students, welcome to chapter 9 part 2 Force and Laws of Motion. So in this video we will be discussing on balance and unbalanced force. So when we take a wooden box and attach two strings to it, say X and Y on both the opposite faces of the box. So if we pull the Y string towards the left, it will move towards it, and if we pull the X towards the right, it will move towards it. But if we pull the string from both sides, it will not move. So such forces balance or cancel each other. Such type of forces are called balanced force. So balanced forces are the forces that does not cause motion of the body. Let's see in this picture. Imagine this is your house and you want to move this box from one point to the other. So what happens when you apply force? The box doesn't move. So you might be thinking that force creates motion. That's what we have learned in the previous class. But when we have applied the force, we couldn't move the box. What is the reason behind this? So when we push the box, there are four types of forces acting on it. So one force is acting downward, and that force is known as force of gravity. It is towards the earth. To balance this force, another force is acting on the opposite direction, that is known as normal force. So these forces, they balance each other. Now we'll see when we apply force from X direction, that is force of push. When we push the box, but the box is not moving, so maybe there is an unknown force that is acting on the opposite direction, which we cannot see. That is why the the box is not moving. So that force is known as force of friction. So when this force of friction is greater than your force, whatever forces you apply, the box will not move. Let us see the net force calculated in X direction. So net force is equal to force of push minus force of friction, which is equal to 0. And net force calculated in Y direction, net force here also again is equal to force of gravity minus normal force, which is again equals to 0. Because of this, the net force is 0 in all the cases, because of which you are not able to move the box, because the forces, net force, cancel each other. Over to the next. Unbalanced force. Now, when we pull the string in Y direction here in this box, the box moves towards the Y direction. So unbalanced forces are those forces in which net force on the body is not equal to 0. So when the box moves, we say that there is motion, and motion exists due to unbalanced force. So let's see again the same picture. Imagine this is your house, and again this time to pull the box you got the help of your friend. So what happened here? Now the force of push, which is denoted by PP, and force of friction, which is denoted by FF. So this time you are able to push the box because you got the help of your friend, and there is a movement in the box. So net force in X direction is equal to force of push minus force of friction. So when we see here, force of push is greater than the force of friction, which means the net force here on the object is not equal to 0 at this time. So why? Because you got the help of your friend to push the box and you applied more force. So this time the two forces cannot cancel each other, and the net force is not equal to 0. So such type of forces is known as unbalanced forces. So let's just have a quick look at the summary. At rest also there are some forces acting on the object. The equal and opposite forces that balances each other are called balanced force. If net force is 0, then no movement occurs in the body. Forces that cause a change in the motion of an object is called unbalanced forces. In the case of unbalanced forces, the net force on the body is not equal to 0. Dear students, this is the end of this video. Thank you.